Everyone takes encouragement from stories in which the underdog succeeds. Tales such as Million Dollar Baby, 8 Mile, or even that biblical one where the giant gets hit in the face with a rock. And in the context of the South African market, Japanese manufacturer Suzuki has enjoyed its share of victories while facing rivalry from long-standing heavy hitters. Since relaunching on our shores back in 2008, the brand has etched a formidable reputation as a purveyor of vehicles that are competent, affordable, and durable. And the product that spearheaded the local revival was the second generation Swift, a spunky thing that successfully married economy car values with genuine fun factor. Fast forward a decade and into the fourth generation Swift. Let us see how they have managed to adapt the philosophy of cheap motoring mirth to the tastes of consumers in 2018. But first, something to disclose. The last time this giver of automotive-related commentary evaluated a Suzuki product was in 2015. It was the Vitara, and it was the recipient of more than a few criticisms. Overall, that model seemed quite rudimentary in comparison to the accomplished competitors in the compact crossover market. But what do I know? Most of the Vitara owners that have spoken to me claim to adore this unpretentious, honest as a mirror type of character. And the latest Swift is similarly simplistic in its constitution, but the execution in this case is far more endearing. Let me explain. The new Swift may, at first glance, appear to be a natural rival to the likes of the Volkswagen Polo, Ford Fiesta, Renault Clio, Mazda 2, Kia Rio, Hyundai i20, and Toyota Yaris in the B segment. And that is the case in Europe, but on sale in our market is the cut-price, content-reduced, Indian-built specification model. So, from a pricing perspective, it competes with the budget-orientated lower B-segment products such as the Volkswagen Polo Vivo, Toyota Etios, Ford Figo, Renault Sandero, and Nissan Micra Active. Now, we know this tier accounts for a sizable sales volume, so shrewd move by Suzuki there. The new Swift certainly looks the part of a spunky urban warrior with its determined little face and blacked-out A-pillars that are said to create the effect of a helmet, coincidentally nodding to the motorcycle heritage aspect of the Suzuki brand narrative. It is wider by 40mm but shorter by 10mm, although that has not impinged on interior space because Suzuki claims that rear passengers get an extra 23mm while front occupants get a whole 10mm more. Yes, it sounds negligible, but think of how you feel on that flight to Cape Town yearning for just a few millimeters of additional stretching room. Every bit counts. But where owners of the old car will undoubtedly notice a change is in the boot. A tiny luggage area was one of its shortcomings, and that has been addressed with a 58-litre increase, or about 1.5 suitcases. Suzuki still offers a sedan variant of the Swift, but Suzuki has now dropped the Swift part from its title, and it is known simply as the Desire. Peel away the helmet-like exterior of the Swift and you'll find an all-new platform which the brand calls its Heartect architecture. Suzuki purports that the new foundation is lighter and stiffer, boasting a redesigned front suspension and an extra crossmember in the rear suspension with the aim of delivering a more spirited, but more importantly, more stable handling character. And it is worth noting that the car weighs a substantial 95 kilograms less than the model it replaces. The new Swift tips the scales at 875 kilograms. Which means that the normally aspirated 1.2-litre 4-cylinder petrol engine carried over from before does not have to work too hard. It produces 61 kilowatts and 113 newton meters, and a range of over 750 kilometers is promised from a full tank. Good news in these times of burgeoning fuel prices. You can have this with a 5-speed manual transmission or one of those automated manual transmissions with the same number of gears. Right, so we mentioned that the Swift is different to the European market specification model in that certain bits were omitted to keep the sticker price low. And hearing that would create reservations about safety credentials, of course. Naturally, we quizzed a representative from Suzuki. He told us that structurally there are no differences. Our cars get dual front airbags, anti-lock brakes and electronic brake force distribution as standard. Interestingly, the European vehicle with its additional side, chest, head and pelvis airbags achieved a 3-star Euro NCAP rating. So it is no Datsun Go, thankfully. But still, that does raise eyebrows in an age where 5 stars are more common than not. Hopefully Global NCAP, which tested an assortment of South African budget cars as part of its Safer Cars for Africa campaign in 2017, will crash and rate this Swift for a result that's more relevant to our market. For reference, the Toyota Etios received 4 stars, while the Renault Sandero got 3. Standard fare is acceptable. The entry-level GA model is equipped with air conditioning, front and rear electric windows, power steering and remote central locking. Expected amenities really from a car in this category. The slightly posher GL model gains an audio system with Bluetooth, a USB socket and steering mounted audio controls. Suzuki mentioned millennial shoppers as its biggest audience for the Swift, and some of them might bemoan the lack of a digital interface through which they can exercise finger inputs. But in fairness, there is only one other competitor that offers such kit, and for extra money. A more generously equipped GLX version is on the cards, and perhaps that might address the matter. Nice to look at, nice to drive, and easy to attain. With prices ranging between 159,900 Rand and 189,900 Rand, shoppers in the budget end of the B segment are going to find it tough to resist the charms of the new Suzuki Swift. Woo!